Hey guys, it's October 12th, 2022, and we have 74 days until Christmas. So I'm going to start off with some Christmas pieces, but I wanted to let you know today's show, I'm going to have over 30 pieces that are fully finished. It's going to be a combination of a trunk show we're going to do, plus some of my finishes, some of Cheryl's finishes, and then we're going to show some of the pieces that Denise is working on. So we have a ton of stuff. But we are going to have a giveaway at the very end, so make sure you tune in for that. But since we're 74 days away from Christmas, that's how long you have to make the 3 Santa typefaces. So this was the first Santa typeface, and I have this one finished. This one came out, so this is Santa. This one is Frosty, and this came out last month, and so I'm going to stitch this in November. And then this one came out Monday. And then this one is my favorite. It is Rudolph, and this is going to be the easiest one to stitch. I'm going to be stitching this in Jolly Housewives in December. And then what I decided to do is I am stitching these on chalkboard black. And so that's going to be this color right here. And so you need 3 separate packages to do it. And what I'm going to do is hold this piece that I've already finished, and I'm going to take them all to the framer at one time. And you'll notice we left a lot of space around because I wanted it to really stand out. So when I take this to get it framed, I'll probably get like a white frame, but if I could find a red one that matched, that would be kind of cool too, just to do something different, or put like a little red mat or a little red insert here. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna hold it off and you'll be stitching with this. But I wanted to show you, so you would need 3 separate, because this is a question we got, because it is so big, you'll need 3 separate packages. And the patterns are all individual. So they're all 3 different patterns. So Rudolph, Santa Claus, and Frosty. So 3 separate patterns. And then we have the thread packs. So we have ribbon red is used in a lot of them. So we have Frosty, Santa Claus, and Rudolph. And I did want to go over, you know, they all have the same red. They have the same white. They have the same black. The problem is that there's so much stitching in it, you wouldn't really have any red left over to do the next one. So that's why we did 3 separate packs. And just so you know, because I don't want you to run out. So we have 3 patterns, 3 thread packs, and we have the chalkboard black. So this is called TypeFACE. It's a new series that we're doing, and we'll be doing a giveaway at the end. So make sure you check that out. And these right here that were framed, these were framed at Hobby Lobby, and yeah, that's what I got on this. So now we're gonna move to my whips, and I have a ton of stuff to show you. So I'm currently in the middle of Stitchtober, working on Autumn Love, and this has been so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk through some tips that I have. So my goal when I started Stitchtober was to stitch 500 stitches a day on Autumn Love by Lori Holt. And the whole pattern has 22,000 stitches. I'm trying to finish it before November 13th, which is a couple days earlier than original plan, because that is when I'm going to visit Lori. Right now I have 8,000 stitches done, so I'm about 36% done and 4 days ahead. So that's good, because I really need to be like 7 days ahead. So I'm averaging about 578 stitches a day. So that's good, I'm ahead. I do have a really busy Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Kevin's birthday is Sunday. I have 3 games Saturday, so I'm trying to get ahead in case I get behind this weekend. I'm stitching on Barley 25 count Lugana, and I was going to talk about some tips. So I started in the center, and I will say when I was working on the house part, specifically like the roof or just full coverage parts, I was able to get 500 stitches in an hour and a half. But then when I started the stars, it was taking me about 2 hours, 15 minutes to get 300 stitches because you're changing colors so much. So what I did do, I'm going to do a pop-up, and you can see that as of yesterday when Jordan took this photo, that one's the stitch count. So this one, you can see kind of my progression. So I started with the red stars, and there's 4 red stars. So I did the outside of the stars, all 4, filled in the inside. Then I moved to the blue, all the outside points on all of them, and then filled in. And basically moved around and around. And you can see when he took this photo, I was in the middle of the black. So I had done the outside stars and I'm filling in. And then yesterday I went ahead and finished all of them. It did take a little bit more time just because I'm starting and stopping. But if you can see, like doing the points, filling in, I don't have to take my thread on and off my thread pack because I'm just doing all the colors at one time, which does help. And 500 stitches takes me about 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours. The thread packs for Autumn Love will be back in stock in about 10 days. We are waiting on more thread keepers, and then when that batch is sold out, we will be officially sold out because we're not able to get more thread and all the colors. So my plan here is I'm going to start out here, and I wanted to show you kind of my plan. See how this has a single border? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a single border for this all the way around, just to make sure I'm in the right spot. Once I have that done, I will go and do the scallop after. So I'm hoping that will help me get that done. And then from there, I have to decide, do I want to do all the frames and then fill in by color? Or do I want to just do square by square? So Jordan's going to pop up again those thread, I guess, stitch numbers. And this is on the blog if you want it, but that kind of tells you how many stitch numbers you need. So like 765, that would be like a day and a half. So I might try to do that whole thing in one day just to stay ahead. So I have to kind of plan how I'm going to attack this. If you have any questions on the sew along, definitely let me know. But I wanted to show you some of Lori's stitching. So Lori right now, this is where she's at. So she started on the top left, and she kind of started by building all the frames. And then she started doing the inside, and then she kind of moved to the outside. So she's kind of just filling in as she goes. But this next photo, oh, and then go back, sorry. Those, see how she uses her design boards? She keeps the little leftovers and little rings. And I tried to do that, but then I mess up my colors, so I had to stop doing that unless I'm working on the exact color. But she took this amazing photo yesterday, and when she sent it to me, I was like, did she Photoshop that? I was like, she's getting pretty good. And if you look, that is a stick, and look at those stitches. She stitched the whole top of that thing across. So that is an amazing photo. That's where she's at, and I think she's probably going to finish before me. She is stitching on 36 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I just thought it'd be really interesting to show because obviously she's the designer, but also looking at that, you can tell I started in the center, she started in the top left. You can go in any order you want. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. So really cute. But if you have any questions on any of this, let me know. I have been using this needle minder a lot. I found that I attached this to my computer monitor, and so at my monitor now I have like 10 needles on it because this one's pretty big. So I'm trying to keep all my Pat Carson needles before they go away. I did kind of find a needle that I like. It's not, I don't like it as much, but I have to get more in stock before I tell you which one. So that is Autumn Love. Of course, I'm happy to answer any questions. And I'm going to take this one along with 3 of my other finishes to Lori's to get it framed. So that is exciting. And then I'll show you the back. So you can kind of tell I went around the edge and then the inside. And this one, it's kind of funny. I have 3 different needles. And they're 3 different brands of needles because I'm trying different ones. So, and Lori is stitching in hand. She does not use a frame. And even though I got all of that done, I got excited yesterday and thought, you know what? I love this. I loved the Autumn Petites. And this came in, I think, last week. So what I decided, we talked about it last week, but I'm going to use the same fabric from Autumn Petites, which is Sandstone 14 count Aida. And what I'm doing, I'm using the Called For Classic Colorworks, and she has these all finished individually. But what I'm going to do is, in the pattern, there's just 4 blocks next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch these the same. And then what we're going to do is Jordan is going to take the Primitive Gatherings Antique Spray and spray it just like he did on Autumn Petites. And then I'm going to get it framed. Now, I'm going to stitch all 4 squares before he sprays it. And I do know when he sprays it, this white is not going to stay white anymore. It's going to turn more of a different color, but I'm having fun doing it. And I got this done last night, an hour and 50 minutes. So I started it yesterday afternoon. So I really didn't do monogamous stitching this week, but I needed a break. I needed actually, my excuse was I needed something to start because I cannot stitch on Autumn Love at a football game. And on Saturday, I have 1 football game and 2 basketball games, and I cannot stitch on something that big. So I needed something so that when I go to basketball this weekend, he's doing really good, but he lost his starting spot. So now he's trying to get it back. And so I have more time to stitch. So Lori is using the exact same colors as Autumn Love. The only thing she's doing differently is I'm stitching on 25 count barley and she's stitching on 36 count milk and honey, cream and sugar. Cream and sugar, milk and honey, you know, all the same to me. Sorry, just being funny. So there's that. And then we're in the middle of the SpookOGraphy sew along. So this is a PDF pattern, and this is it finished. So cute. So Cheryl stitched this one, and this is just white, just plain white Witchell fabric, 14 count, just plain white. Now I'm going to show you some pictures of some other ones, but I wanted to show you that Noelle from our content team, she loads all of the cross stitch patterns, is stitching this, and I wanted to brag on her a little bit. So if you zoom in a little bit, she's a brand new stitcher. So she is using a Q-snap so she can keep her stitches even, and I think this is an 11-inch, and she's just using the same threads, and her stitches look great. So this is great for a beginner. And if you share that hashtag that Jordan showed, then we might share your piece. So I'm going to show you some different ones that some different stitchers have done. So this is Jan Dedeen, and she said she's celebrating the first day of the SpookOGraphy stitch along by posting her already completed SpookOGraphy. I really had no chill. I switched the green with pink to coordinate with my Smokey and Sweet quilts. So I think that is super cute. So anything that was green, she changed to pink, and you can see how the pink really coordinates well with the purple she used. So if you have any questions on which color she used, just follow her on Instagram and ask her, but that's really cute. And then this one I thought was really amazing. This is Buffalo Flats Quilt Co. And when we write, well, when Sarah writes the patterns, there are 4 different pages. She started in the bottom right and did that whole bottom right page, because at first when I looked at it, I was like, wait, some of it's missing. So I think I've never done that, but that's really great. And now she can just go back and finish the page. I don't know if she's going to go up or left or right. And she's just stitching on 14 count Aida from her stash. And she is using the same DMC. And then Crafty Heather, this is really cute. She started in the top left. So I think it's great if you look at all the things that everyone does it a little bit different. And then Rusty Hinge Stitchery, she finished. Super cute. And then there are the dates. So next week will be week 2. And like I said, Buffalo Quilt Co., she started on week 4, and that's totally fine. So have fun stitching and stitch any way you would like. Now I'm going to show you support group, which we're also in the middle of a stitch along. This is support group by Lori Holt. We have raised $8,520 for the breast cancer awareness month to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And so that means we have really raised $18,520. So we just need to get about $1,500 more. So on this piece, there are 3 different bras. So row 1 is one, row 2 is a different one, row 3, and row 4. And this one right here is stitched on 25 count overcast. And the ones that I'm going to show you are all very different. So kind of look at the colors before we go on so you can kind of see the differences. So the first one, she used a white fabric, and then she made all of her bras pink. This is the same lady, Buffalo Flats Quilt Co. And she said she wishes all her bras were that cute. So really cute. And I think that's just 14 count white. Oh, she is using Classic Colorworks. And then the next one, Crafty Boy Mom 3, super cute. So she used a gray Aida, it looks like. I think that flamingo might be from a hands-on design pattern if I was guessing. And then she made a cute little bag. Love it. And then this one is exactly the same thread, even though it looks different. It's just on a white Aida. So that's week 1 of our support group. And then next week we will do week 2. So if you want us to show your piece, just add your hashtag and we will pick from those. And on this one, super cute. We have lots of thread packs. The only thing we've sold out on this is the enamel needle minder, but we will have more at the end of November. So those do take a long time to finish or to make. So that is the delay on that. How do I keep my cloth so smooth? When I put it in my bag, I kind of roll it up instead of roll it or fold it. But before we do live stream, there's a little secret. Denise irons everything. So it's not really that neat. Pam King, Kimberly, Lori said it was windy and she said it would have been a nightmare if it landed in the lake. Thank goodness it did not. Yes, it would have. But I can guarantee that Mr. Honey would have run and got it and jumped in the lake and got that. So I think she was in safe hands. So this week I got back some framed finishes and I'm supposed to get more next week. So I'm going to show you some of my framed finishes and I think they look really good. So Summer Refreshes is the 3rd in the series by Summer House Stitchworks. So I got this back. And on these, I stitched on 14 count espresso by Fiber on a Whim. And on all of these that I'm about to show you, I used that fabric, the called for DMC, and I did ask for the framer to leave just a very small margin. So that is Summer Refreshes. And then these you've seen before. Spring Awakens and Winter Cometh. So that is how they look together. And then the last one is Autumn something. And I have it kitted up and I have it scheduled to stitch in November. And it's just very interesting because if you look at the fabrics, they look slightly different. Like this one looks darker, but I used all the same cloth and we just cut it into quarters. So I really like this one. It's very different. I didn't change any of the colors. The only thing that I wish is that I would have used a darker peach right here. But really cute. So I'm hoping to find a place in my house where I can just switch it out each time. So I got those back. So again, the designer is Summer House Stitchworks. And on these, I need to put the library label on the back. I haven't done that yet. Now I got this one back. This is the free alphabet from Lori Holt that came out this year to go with the You're the Boss of Your Own quilt. So I wanted to show you, so this is completely free on fatquartershop.com. And this one is the called for fabric and the called for thread that Lori designed. Now I have a wall in my sewing room that has cross stitch and it's all very white and bright. So I decided to do this one. So this one right here is 25 count Lugana, which is cloud, which is just the white. And I use DMC 930 because that's what Lori picked for me. So I'm gonna put the library card on it and then take it and try to hang it up. Another thing I got back from the framer is Pop of Summer. So I just got this one back. I think the other one is at the framer. So I thought I brought the first one back today. I must have forgot it in my closet. So there's a second one at the framer right now. The first one I meant to bring but must have forgot. And then the last one, oh, I know what it is. Okay, this is the first one I finished. This is the first one back from the framer. The second one is at the framer still. The third one I need to stitch and the fourth one isn't out yet. So sorry. I stitch all this stuff. I can't remember anything. But this one's really cool because this is the first time I've used the 20 count and it's very rough, and this is pearl cotton, but it looks really good. I think it probably would have looked better if I would have left the glass off. It would have looked a little bit more vintage, but I just could not trust myself to leave the glass off. So hopefully next week I'll bring the second one that I did. Hopefully they're pretty behind on my framing. I mean, I just stitch a lot of stuff. I can't keep up. Now Doodles Autumn, I just got back. So this is the last one. I stitched out of order. So there's a Doodles series that has the seasons. So I have all 4 done. So this one is Autumn. Winter. Summer. I did ask my framer to keep these the same size. And spring. So I have all these done, and the framer did a pretty good job of getting them the right size. They're a little bit off, but I was kind of thinking I could put these all on one wall somewhere here at Fat Quarter Shop. So this one I stitched on oatmeal 25 count. I used all of the called for colors by the designer, and I did not change any of the colors. So these are by Heart and Hand, and I used all of her colors. Now she started coming out with a Doodles holiday. So she has a Halloween and the Christmas is about to come out. So, and this does have glass. All of my pieces have glass. I have a ton of stuff and I cannot trust myself to keep things, like, I just kind of stack a lot, and I also don't want to get dust because I'm kind of a neat freak. On 25 count, you stitch 2, we'll zoom in so you can see, but on this one I stitched 2 strands over 2 squares. If you were going to use 1 strand, you would go over 1 square, but that would be tiny. So that is what I do. And this is the Lori Holt fabric. And then this is the third that I have done, second I have done in this series. So Patriotic is the first one, and I have that one framed, and you've seen that one. This is the second one I have framed. The third one I'm going to be stitching in November, and then the fourth one I'll be stitching in 2023. Third one's at the framer. Oh my gosh, sorry. See, I stitched so much. I'm at like 120 this year or something. I can't keep up. So the third one's at the framer. The fourth one I'm going to stitch in November. And I love this frame. It's super thick. It ended up being super expensive. That's the only thing that I would say. But I really like the color, that it's worked well with all of them. So hopefully next week I will show you the third one. I literally could just stitch a bunch of stuff and never remember anything. Sometimes I don't know how I remember my name. We don't have the doodles as a set just because she's continuing with it. So you can just purchase those all separately. So these are all my framed pieces. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Sorry. These are all the framed pieces I got back this week. I wanted to show you some of the pieces that Cheryl has framed and for Halloween. So this first one you've seen before, Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. And this one was in the video at the beginning of the year when we went to the framer. So you could see her picking out the frame. This one does have glass. Now, I always put glass on my pieces. Cheryl sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. I'm not sure how she decides that. And I do use non-glare museum glass. This is stitched on 32 count Murky Lugana, and she used the called for DMC and Classic Colorworks, and she got this framed at Artworks in Austin. So really pretty. So I'm sure she's gonna have this one out. She loves Halloween. The next piece she stitched, I think last year. This is Quaker Moon. I actually have this one out at my house and it looks totally different. I probably should have brought it so you could see it. It's in my kitchen. So this is Quaker Moon by Bent Creek, and she finished this one on this board, and it came out last year or the year before from Joann's. So this is 32 count cream Lugana, and she used all the called for colors, and then this right here I think is a Primitive Gatherings flannel. I don't stitch initials in my pieces, but Cheryl does on her bigger pieces. So we'll look at this one and see if she sometimes sneaks her initials in. We'll see if we can find them on this next one, and then we'll look at the previous. So this Quaker Pumpkins is a pattern that came out recently, I mean like within the last year, by Hello from Liz Matthews. And you saw it stitched, or as she was stitching it, but now it's framed. She got it framed at Hobby Lobby. This is 32 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. She kept all the colors the same, and I'm looking for her initials. I don't think she put them in this one. But if you go back and look at this one that I just showed you, she put, so Cheryl, her last name, and then 2021. And then we have another one. I have shown you this before, but really cute. Hocus Pocus. And this one is stitched on 32 count ivory linen, called for DMC, and 2016, and her initials. And if you look at the pattern, you know, she just came up with that. And this one was framed at Hobby Lobby. So speaking of Cheryl, she's on her second week of Stitchtober. And last week I showed you Happy Halloween by Teresa Kogut. And this week I'm showing you Happy Halloween by Primrose Cottage Stitchers. And this is stitched on 32 count taupe Lugana. And then she's using black and orange called 4 weeks dye works. The one thing she substituted was this right here, this white. She's using Classic Colorworks Khaki Mocha because the called for white was too yellow for the brown fabric. So she's only changing colors just because of her fabric. So, and this is so cute, the little ghost. So you can see when you're stitching, you know, you always want to make sure your stitches will show up, and she wanted it to be brighter. And I love it because now you can really see the ghost. And then next week I'll show you what she's working on for week 3, and then the week after, week 4. And then we finally have the Hello Halloween book in stock. Yay! So last week I showed you Cheryl's and Denise's, and then this week I have Denise's. So what I wanted to show you on this, she's stitching on 32 count light taupe Lugana, and the fabric is on order, but this is 1 skein of Weeks Dye Works. So it's kind of interesting to see how much you can get from 5 yards. So she's going to go down, back around, and then we'll show it to you next week. But it looks different than Cheryl, so it'll be interesting to see when they both finish, who finishes first, and then who frames theirs first. And then just looking at the stitches is pretty interesting because they're using the same floss but different fabric and different counts, and it just gives it a different look. And that is by Teresa Kogut. And then Denise is also working on Halloween Town, and she's stitching on the Spooky Cobwebs by Fabric Flare. And what she's doing here is pretty interesting. So what she's going to do is she's starting on this purple house. But what she's doing is she's going to do all the black. Once she does that, she might stitch the house in purple. She might stitch the house in these greens. And she might stitch the house in the orange. So when she has the black done, then she's just going to put the different flosses, the called for flosses on it, and then see which one she thinks looks better. And she's using the Aura floss, and we will have more of that in stock in about a week. I'm waiting on an order from Aurafil to arrive. And then, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love this one. So I definitely want to stitch this one next year. Autumn Farm Sign. I showed it to you last week. It was a new Dapper Doodad by Stitching with the Housewives. And right here, this is white Lugana, 32 count. And one thing that Denise and Cheryl do that's similar is they leave their piece and they stitch on a big piece. They don't cut it down like I do. And Denise used the called for DMC. And this is so cute. If you zoom in, it's like the little hay. So super cute. Okay, so now I'm going to answer questions before we move on to a trunk show that we're going to do. Oh, this is a great question from the Intuitive Stitcher. Can I ask why you spray the fabric after stitching rather than before? Okay, so I do it incorrectly. That is absolutely correct that I do it incorrectly. The reason why is when I was stitching the Autumn Petites originally, I stitched that and I had a little iron mishap where my iron got brown on my fabric. So I just decided I wasn't going to restart. That was a lot of work. So I went ahead and stitched the entire piece, and he just sprayed it all at once. That's not what is recommended, but I actually really like it. And if you go to FQSX Stitch, hint, hint, you can see what Jordan looks like, hint, hint, and reel from yesterday. And then there's also a reel on there from last week showing him actually spraying the sunflower sampler. And if you pay attention to how he does it, it's really important to pay attention to how he does it. It's very steady hand because that gives you the consistency. Once he's done, he kind of does an overall spray on the outside. and it looks really good. Now he's gonna do the same thing, but you're not supposed to spray it after, you're supposed to spray it before, but I don't always follow the rules. There's not really like cross stitch police, or I always kind of just feel like in life, just do whatever you think looks good, and even if it's not 100% that way, it might turn out better than you thought it would. These are the brand new Stitching with the Housewives shirts. I'm going to talk about them in the What's New section, but they are now in stock. So we'll put them at the top of the What's New page so that you can find them easier, but they fit just like the last ones. They're the same brand, and so I'm wearing a large. I always wear a large. So I love it. I think they're so pretty. And it is Brittany made them, so shout out to Brittany. Amber asks, do I know if Lori would ever consider releasing her Lugana in 28 count? Okay, so I will let her know that you guys are interested. Laura Cox says, on Cheryl's Halloween Quaker, oh, did she use 1 strand of floss or 2 on the 32 count? 2. 2 strands over 2 squares. Mandalee says, the spider web fabric used for spooky houses, can it come in a 1 yard cut by chance? We can ask and see if they will do it. If they do, we'll buy a couple. What is the needle for cross stitch with the cut on the tip? I have one. I want to order more. You might be talking about ball tip needles that have like a little ball on the end. I'm not sure. So now I'm going to show you Prim Stitch series. So a lot of you, I've noticed we have a lot of new subscribers, and we have a lot of people who have joined us since 2020. So I wanted to go back and show you Prim Stitch series designed by Lori Holt. So we released this in 2020, and there are 12 individual patterns, but you can also buy it as a full pattern set. And that would include all 12 that I'm going to show you, plus the free border layout. Now I'm going to show you a pop-up of Lori and I from 2020, and that is her piece. So she stitched this Prim Stitch series using the free border layout and as one piece. Now when you look at the ones I'm going to show you that me and Cheryl pieced or stitched, they're all individual. So you can get the full set, either paper pattern, you can also get PDF, you can also get the Prim Aura Floss box, or the Prim DMC pack, and the sheep needle minder came out with it, and we're going to keep that in stock until it sells out. So now I'm going to show them to you one by one. So this is number 1, Patriotism and Industry. Now on all of these, I stitched half and Cheryl stitched half, and they're all finished with a Lori Holt's medium white frame that she painted with her chalk paint. She used her Prim fabric to finish this, and then she has a lace pack she used. Now all of these, if you stitch the individual piece, the stitch count is 74 by 74, and you will need the Prim fabric, and it comes in a really big piece. And if you're going to stitch all as one piece, you need 1 package. And then if you're going to do them individually, you need 2 packages. So this is number 1, and then we put the library cards on the back so we could remember which one, and then Lori put a piece of her fabric from the top also on the back to cover up the wood so it looks better. Our PDF patterns are not compatible with Pattern Keeper. Prim Stitch series number 2, Joy and Contentment. Where can I get Lori Holt paint? You can get what she has left on Lori's Etsy site. And we might have some left on our site, but I think we're sold out. This is Peace and Plenty. And so some of them she put that same brown on the back, and some of them she used different, but they all have this brown right here, I think. So these would look really good. My plan for these is to put them all on one big wall at Fat Quarter Shop. Kindness and Generosity. And Lugana does mean even weave. Linen is completely separate fabric than Lugana or even weave. So Lugana is even and it doesn't have any slubs. It's more of like a really clean look. This is number 5, Beauty and Simplicity. And she did put batting here. This one right here is number 6, Home and Hearth. It's coming apart. We have to fix it. It's I think we broke some of the things. Oh wait, some of these broke off, so we have to find some to put them in. And one day I'm going to have these all hung and we'll show you a picture of it. Faith and Endurance. I have a plan for it, and it can't be enacted yet, which is why you won't see a picture for a while, and I can't say why, but there is a plan. There's always a plan. It's always in the back of my mind. I always have a plan for everything. That's one thing about me, is there's always a plan. I just have to remember what it is. This is Pleasant and Gentle. And when we put these on the wall, we will kind of look at the color layout. We might not put them 1 to 12. We might change it up. And also, I know the people who have been with us a while, if you didn't finish this, I'm hoping this will give you the nudge to go ahead and finish. Welcoming and Cheerful, number 9. And these right here, I can't remember what they're called, but she got these at Home Depot or Lowe's or Love and Friendship, number 10. Yeah, when I went to Priscilla's, we couldn't figure out if Menards was like Home Depot or if it was furniture. I don't even know if we ever figured it out. I think it was Home Depot. We were confused. We were going to go in it just to see, but we didn't have time. But it's interesting to go to a different part of the country and then see stores you've never seen. Number 11, Gratitude and Grace. And you can see how pretty all the finishing is. You know, Lori really took time to, make the frames really go with everything. So I can't wait to get these on the wall one day. Kimberly, you are running out of walls. You're going to have to wrap up gifts. Well, there's not much on my walls at home. It's at work that the walls will be filled. Hands and Hearts to God. I'll show you the back of this one. So just as kind of a reminder, you can stitch these individually. You can stitch them as one piece. The one that Lori was holding up and this one were both stitched on the Prim Lugana. So that is our trunk show for today. We're trying to kind of put those in every now and then. And for flash sale, we have 2 items. This is Barn Door Buttons by Lori Holt. And this Fiber on a Whim Cypress 36 count Edinburgh linen. So this will probably sell out by noon because we rarely put fiber on a whim on a flash sale. And now I'm going to show you the what's new, what we have new in the shop. So the Cut Sew Press that Lori Holt designed earlier is now available as a PDF. And this is 25 count cloud. And we just came out with some tart tin ornaments, and I wanted to talk a little bit about them and talk about a video that we have out there so you guys can go watch. So this idea came to us about 2 years ago. So it took us about 2 years to implement this. It's not always easy to, you know, you can have great ideas, but it doesn't always really, it takes long. I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes it takes longer than you think it will. So we took the Vintage Christmas little, the insides of the Vintage Christmas, and we put them on our brand new sticky boards. So sticky circles, mounting boards. So this is the size that are ours. These are the 2 5/8. So we made them match this, and we have a video that shows you how to take the sticky board, how to put your fabric, your cross stitch fabric around it, and how to put it inside the tart. Inside the tart package, you get 6 different tarts, and you're gonna see a lot of plastic and it looks messy. The reason why is these are painted and we need the paint to not chip. So you get a package of 6, and our video shows this, which is Lori Holt's pattern. But this is a hint of what is to come. And this was the original design that kind of started off all of it. And when we did these, Priscilla and Chelsea really liked them, but they needed them bigger. So we made a size for Priscilla and Chelsea that are 3.5 inches, and they're gonna have some patterns that come out with these, including this. So all the month-to-month circles fit this. So now, instead of cutting sticky board, Priscilla can just use these. But they're also going to come out with new patterns, and this is one of the new patterns that just came out. If you're in the club, you just got your shipment, and I know that because when I came to work today, mine was on my desk. So now I know that it has shipped out, and I cannot wait to make this one. But we will come out with some new sizes. So we've got a smaller size that fits the tart tins. We have a bigger size, and Priscilla's got plans for that. And I did forget at the beginning of the show to give a hint. The first thing we showed was, the Prim Stitch series. So that, I'm going to give a little hint because I forgot to do it. So the reason I wanted to show this was also, we have a new, so when we did this in 2020, this was a series. So we have a new series coming for 2023. And my hint is bok bok, cock-a-doodle-doo, cluck cluck. There's your hint. So we do have a new series coming out for Lori. Totally different than this, but that's the only hint I can give you. But I do want you to check out our video on this because it was really easy. So much easier than I thought. And if I'm able to do these, you're able to do them. So, yeah. So, there you go. And then you can do a little tree. So, last Friday, Boo Dapper Doodads came out. And so this is a PDF. And I'm going to pop up an image. So when I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea's video on Saturday, they talked about, they basically took that same exact frame from Hobby Lobby that they used for the Home series. Home is Where the Wreath Is series. And the same principle of that same video they did where they put down the fabric and that size. Now, that is the Priscilla's plaid in purple. The one thing they did different is they painted the outside of the frame black, and there are going to be 3 more. So starting this Friday, the second one will come out, and it's going to be not a village, but kind of a village. You'd have to kind of watch the video to see what it's going to be. But Priscilla, in this series, there's also bonus letters. And it's going to be Halloween spelled out. So you'll have to have all 4 of the Dapper Doodads to spell out Halloween. And she's going to do a banner type thing. So that's something different that you can look forward to. And then the next pattern that came out is Ho Ho Ho. So now they're moving into Christmas also. And this is tier trays. Now, if you pre-ordered these have now shipped. So Christmas Lane is part of our Let's Go Ride a Bike club. I'm going to be stitching this one in Jolly Housewives. This is with the ring Ivy Wed. This one we pre-sold. And so this has Chelsea and Matt's initials and the date of their wedding. And then this one I just showed you, which is the December month to month. And so now I get to show you our new stuff. So this is the brand new shirt for Priscilla and Chelsea. This is our 3rd year doing Jolly Housewives shirts. It's the 2nd year doing a bag. So all the bags from the previous year are all gone. They're all sold out. The previous year shirts are on sale, but now we have new ones. So this is the 2022. So this is the shirt. I'm wearing a large. If you watch their video from Saturday, you can see Chelsea's wearing a small. Priscilla's wearing a medium, so you can see the different sizes, and then a cute little cotton bag. And it's cotton, it is not the nylon, and super cute. And Brittany did both of these. Oh, this is funny, and Kimberly hates chickens. Oh, I do hate chickens, and I'm not stitching it. But we have a friend named Colleen, she's stitching it. So these we already kind of went over. And also we just, like yesterday came out with the red ribbon showed up. So we have for Priscilla and Chelsea, and I just showed you that one ornament that is using this ribbon. So this is the red ribbon. You can buy it individually or as a set. We also have the black ribbon set. Now I'm going to let you know I allocated these yesterday. One of these is going to be sold out soon. So to get the set, once that sells out, it's going to be a wait for a couple of months because one of these ribbons is outselling the rest. And so it was black, then red, and now we are working on aqua. And then we have new patterns. Quaker Birds by From the Heart Needle Art. And then from the Needlework Expo, there was the Hoop-de-Doo, Feed Me, Gardening, Holiday Baking, Cooking. I'm trying to keep the ones together. American as Apple Pie, and Busy Bee. So there are 6 total patterns. And the way she finished them was with fabric on the outside, and then all those little skinny ribbons I just showed you would be cute at the top. Oh, and then we mentioned it, but Hello Halloween is finally in stock at Fat Quarter Shop. Yay! And then we did get a request for the Hawk Run Hollow series. So now we have them. We have all of them. So we have Map of Hawk Run Hollow, The Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, The Village of Hawk Run Hollow, The Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. The one we've shown before is Halloween one. I think it's Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and then this is the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. So now we have all 6 of those. And then we have some new Tiny Modernist. This one's so cute, I want to make it. Happy fall, y'all. Spooky Halloween Bell Pull, and then Christmas Snow Globe Part 2, and we have shown Part 1 before. And then this is a brand new pattern. It has a thread keep in the inside to make, and it's a sampler pattern. And I think this was a product request. And then that's what I have today. So I'm going to show you the product request. No, I'm not. I'm gonna answer all of the questions that you have in there, and then once I answer the questions, I'll go over the giveaway. But I do want to thank all of you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you subscribe, and we hope you follow us on all of our social media, which is Fat Quarter Shop Cross Stitch. Kimberly Seam says, I'm wondering how you finished it in the settings like that with the fabric behind and the flare. So on Lori's, I think she did a tutorial on her YouTube channel maybe. What does a sampler pattern mean? Okay, so I'm going to answer, I'm sure I'm going to be incorrect, but it has to do with the alphabet, and it has to do with part of school curriculum in the 1800s and 1700s was teaching a young girl how to stitch and how to do different home ec things. So part of learning the alphabet was stitching the alphabet. So I think they're based on kind of the samplers from then, but they do all have an alphabet. Are the Jolly Housewives shirts women's or unisex? Unisex. Is that a cookie with a Santa hat? Yes. What is that tree pattern? It is gonna be a secret. It is coming soon at Fat Quarter Shop. And with the tart tins, so you can use the what is the Vintage Christmas, and then we have a brand new pattern coming out that is going to be just for that. And then I'm sure next year we'll have another pattern. Each year we'll come out with a pattern to go with it. And then thank you to Valeria Bauer for your super chat. Totally appreciate it. And then our giveaway for today is we're going to give away to 3 different people a Rudolph typeface pattern and a 14 count chalkboard black to 3 winners. To enter, we want you to comment below and tell us what other typefaces you would like to see. We have some in the works, but we want to continue these in different series, different seasons. So we're done with Christmas, but we might do Easter, we might do fall, we might do Halloween, we might do Valentine's Day, that type of thing. So let us know which one you would like to see so we can design those, and the winners will be announced in the community tab. And I do want to thank Rachel. She sent me the last frame I needed for month to month. Sorry, I think Denise might have just broken it, but not really. Just hand it to me. She literally just, here. Okay. Rachel sent me this. Thank you so much, because I will tell you my Home Goods still does not have them. So this is a huge relief. I can stop going to Home Goods every weekend trying to find them. So thank you so much. And I also want to wish Gretchen a happy birthday. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.